Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to JG's Lounge. I'm your host, Jukebox Ginger, here with another episode of Stardom. And today I've got a very special guest with me, Rob Saul. Rob, how you doing, man?
I'm tired. Jeez, every time you have me on a show, it's fucking first thing in the goddamn morning. Don't even have time to get dressed. My second, I've only done 2 shows in my robe, and they're both yours.
Well, you got, let's see, Legally and Live, but that's at like 7:30 in the evening, correct?
Yeah, it's 7 every Tuesday at 7. Yeah,
7.
and then
Yeah.
Soul Show comes on at 8:30 at night. So I'm used to, you know, kind of working through my day and getting myself together before we go live. But literally, I woke up like 5 minutes before I came on there. I tried to wake up a half hour earlier, but I kept snoozing. And I have like one of those I have like one of those Google Homes alarms. So
Mm-hmm.
I keep going, I have to wake, it's going off. I'm like, hey Google, snooze, and then yeah, it's obnoxious.
Yeah, I always set like 4 alarms
Oh
just to make sure I get up because I know my ass ain't gonna wake up on the first one.
yeah. It's good. I think I live alone. I just, if I was married again or had a girlfriend living here, they'd fucking murder me, screaming at that fucking machine to snooze.
It's so funny because like my wife gives me the hardest time because of how deep I sleep, but I can wake up to the lightest noises. Like
Yeah.
my wife won't wake up for shit for the alarms, but for some reason I can wake up to like something rustling downstairs.
If anybody's live in the show from my end that I promoted, I know I promoted that Bob Levy was on, but Jukebox Ginger here, when he booked me, he said, I'm going to try to get, Bob and Chris on from Levy Land. What do you think? I said, you can ask him. I said, but I don't think Bob's going to be up and about this early. And I said, Chris will be, but he's always at a fucking doctor's appointment and running errands in the morning. So he comes back. He said, Bob's going to do it. And I guess Chris said no. I don't know. When does Chris turn down appearances?
It's funny because he kept saying, I'll let you know, man. I'll let you know. I was like, hey, I'm going to do a promo. Do you want me to tag you in it? He's like, nah, just leave me out.
Wow. Yeah, I was shocked. But I'm not shocked that Bob didn't show up. Chris, I've seen Chris do an appearance by himself, and like on Ladyland, he has nothing to talk about. So I tuned in to I tuned in. I'm like, what are they going to talk to Chris about? This podcast, and I said, I gotta watch this. So I turn on the podcast. I didn't see it live, and I'm like, I just got to see what Chris is going to talk about. And the host is like, that Rob Saul sure is a faggot. And like it was like 45 minutes of him telling stories about stories I told on the show, and I'm like, oh, that's all he does. He diverts the attention off of himself to me on the show, and I'm like, so I'm dying to see what he's going to talk about, and I'm not there. He's still talking about me. I'm shocked he turned down an appearance with me on a podcast.
No shit, man.
I joke. I don't joke. I'm actually telling the truth about that, but I do love Chris.
Yeah, he's been on like 3 times on here.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. He does both shows. He's Levy Land, and he's a co-host on Soul Show with me. And he's getting married in April. I think I'm going to be in his wedding, one of his groomsmen.
Oh, I was going to say the flower girl, maybe.
Oh my God, who knows? Yeah, maybe he does have that in store for me. I don't know. I promised the audience he's posting clips of our last appearance, Jukebox Ginger, but I promised everybody I won't show my feet today. So,
it was just I love promoting old shows, and I try to mix up the guests that I've had because I've had like 50-something people on, and some of them are repeat, obviously, but it is what it is. I like to keep the stuff going and keep promoting the older shows too. So.
It's just how long ago was that show? Because I'm wearing the exact same thing with the exact same dog, and me and the dog both look fatter.
So that was with my first mic, actually, when I had a shittier mic. That was probably a little over a year ago, man. It's been about a year and a half.
Me and Stevie Nicks here plumped up, and I'm a lot hairier.
You are a lot hairier. Do you use a beard product? I'm an ambassador for a beard oil company.
Oh, are you? Yeah, I do use beard oil. I just buy different ones and try them out. But yeah, if you want to send me some beard oils, I'll be down for it, and I'll I'll and then if I like them, I'll buy them from you and use your fucking code and your whatever you do with your fucking beard oils.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
I will definitely do that. Whenever I get some stuff in, I'll get your address from you.
All right.
So yeah, I don't even know that you had that when you were on last time. If you did, it wasn't much.
What, a beard?
Yeah, it wasn't that.
No, I always had like a light beard. I've always had like a light beard, kind of like a shadow, almost a little heavier, but it was never like long or anything.
See, my problem is I have an egg-shaped head, so without this, I just look ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what? I used to shave my face, like be shaven clean, and I don't, one person says something weird to you and nobody else says it. Like
Right.
everybody always says I look younger, a lot younger. I don't even like barely look my age when I'm clean shaven, even when the beard's lighter. But I was shaving clean all the time. I said I got such a beautiful face, why hide it? And so I had a beard, and I said, oh, let me shave my face again. And a girl said, oh, look at that. I like the pedophile look. And I said, well, she was like, you look like a pedophile clean shaven. And I'm like, ah. And that just, something like that just sticks with you. And I've never been clean shaven since.
That's the same thing with like mustaches. You get those cop stashes. Most of them look like fucking pedophiles.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you can pull that off.
Mustache. And you know what I used to have when I was like 19, 20, that I'm like, oh my God. But that was in. A lot of people had it. It's just the goatee around here.
Yes.
Yeah, just the goatee. I mean, and that's such a stupid look. I see pictures of myself. I'm like, God, even if people did have it, then you look like a fucking idiot,
Yes.
I did. Anyway.
I had it. I did too.
You had the
goatee. Before the goatee, I just had the soul patch, which even looked more ridiculous.
Oh God. What a fucking loser. You had a soul patch. Ugh.
That was back when I did Liberty Spikes too. Just kind of.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't talk. I used to get the frosted tips in my hair.
I did it.
This is my last 2 months of my 30s. I'm going to be 40 on August 17th, and so I've looked back at the styles I've been through, and it's been some pretty horrific things going on.
Dude, the phases I went through before I became a dad to how quick it changed being a dad was insane.
Now, when I first became a dad and I was married, I became huge. I mean, I was got up to like 200 pounds. And for me, we talked about it on the show before, I'm only 5'7". And so that's big. I was a big round fella. They used to call me Slob Saul, Bob Levy and them.
I hover around 2 to 210, and I can usually rest a cup on my belly.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I'm not saying I like it, but it is what it is. Okay, so like I told you before we started, I was looking at this "Am I the Asshole?" somebody told me about.
Oh, our pre-show meeting.
Yes. And I couldn't find a lot that I really thought were that good, but I found 4 of them, and I wanted to read them. And then before I actually explain the situations, I wanted to get who you think the asshole is in the situation.
Usually, if I'm involved, it's me. I'm the asshole. But so I think I'd be a good judge on this because I know assholism because I'm pretty far up. I'll tell you, I'm a miserable fucking asshole.
Well, so is he.
Bob's more likable, and like he's funny, but he's when he's around people, he could be likable. Bob will tell you that I go out with Bob, there's a couple times I've let loose and had fun, but usually I'm just like, very reserved. I don't like talking to people. And Bob talks to everybody. You would think that I'm like some big star, but Bob's like the star, and he's sociable and talk, and I just sit off to the side. If Bob's wife is along, I sit to the side with her and gossip like girls and chat with her, and we talk about people. I'm such a fucking woman. Bob says that me and Gina are his 2 wives, but we call each other sister wives. I really do love Bob's wife, Gina. Look what she. In fact, I have it sitting right here. I got to get it framed and hung up. But out of nowhere, just for no reason, because she knows I'm a huge Stevie Nicks fan, she mails this to me. I love found this, bought it, and mailed it to me, and I love it. I got to get it framed. And,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, Bob's wife Gina got that for me.
How far apart?
No special occasion. Just saw it and said Rob likes Stevie Nicks, and I'm gonna grab it for him. Sweet lady.
On the back, does it say for my best girlfriend?
Yeah. My sister wife, Rob.
How far away do they live from you?
They're like 45 minutes.
That's not too bad.
But Bob used to come here all the time and do the show. I only see him now when Bob has gigs in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
They got the big house. I would love to go up there, but I don't drive. I've never driven. Like, I always have to tell people that when I tell them I don't drive. I never driven because people automatically think at my age, if I'm not driving, that I'm got like fucking bunch of DUIs under my belt. But I've always just been, I've never had a driver's license. I've had my permit a couple times, and I'm just a nervous driver. I got comfortable for a while. Right after my divorce, I started dating this super hot like 22-year-old, and she you got to drive. So she would take me practice driving, and she would, anytime that I wanted to have sex, she said, all right, you have to go driving first. That was the rule. I only got sex with driving. So I got comfortable. I would be like dropping her off at work in the car and stuff, and I still wasn't that comfortable, but I was getting more used to it. And then when she moved away to Georgia, and I stopped driving completely again, and now I'm back at square one. If somebody put me behind the wheel, I'd be a fucking nervous wreck.
Well, I mean, she can't bribe you with sex either,
Yeah.
there's nobody there to say, hey, we'll have sex if you go drive.
Yeah. Who? No, I'm telling you, the girlfriend did that, but yeah, she's gone. So,
well, aren't you you're in a pretty major
22-year-old to teach me with sex again?
Would you do you walk everywhere?
I do, yeah. If I didn't, I've been eating like a maniac. Like, I'd be a lot fatter if I didn't walk everywhere and bartend, because I'm always moving around. Like, I wear the watch, the Apple Watch, and it tracks my steps, and I always do like 40,000 steps a day, like 8 to 10 miles on foot every day. So that's how I'm not like obese, but like
my brother-in-law, he's been living with us, and he was gonna Uber somewhere because he doesn't drive either.
Yeah.
And they have raised their prices dramatically. Like, it was $35 to get like 15 minutes down the road.
Yeah, it's weird because I live right outside of Atlantic City, and to get into Atlantic City, you pay like $15 to $20. But once you're in the city, that's where all the Uber drivers want to hang around and stay in that area, because they're getting all the rides. To get out of the city, it's like a $45 to $75 Uber ride, depending on the time to get out of the city. But I have a bus pass too, and the bus comes right in front of my condo development, and takes me to Atlantic City, and then I usually walk about 10 blocks to work. They have these little buses called jitneys that are $2.25 that take you to all the casinos in the city.
I think you mentioned that to me before.
Yeah. Sometimes if I'm feeling real lazy, or if it's real super cold, I'll take it. But usually I walk the 10 blocks to work to get the exercise in.
Fair enough. It's a 35-minute drive for me, so I imagine it would take me, I have no fucking clue how long if I was to ride a bike.
I want to get
and that's all highway
bikes.
Do what?
I want to get one of those electric bikes. Those are cool.
I've seen them. They're all over the city here.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm too old to be. I don't know, but maybe it's cooled down. Maybe like in 10 years, I'll be making fun of myself when I used to ride around on an electric bike.
They even have electric scooters that go like 35 miles an hour now. They're literally just stand-up scooters.
I know. I've seen people riding around the city on those. They have the electric bikes and the scooters. Yeah. I couldn't do the scooter, but I would do the electric bike.
Yeah. I had a moped for a little while. It was all right. Yeah. A little weird.
Yeah, that is.
It overheat a lot.
What are those things? Maybe I'll take one of those things. What are those pogo sticks?
Yes, there you go. Pogo everywhere.
Yeah.
You remember those old moon boots when we were kids that you strapped your feet
Oh
in?
my God. I think my mom got me those one of your moon boots. I forgot about this. Yeah. I only remember wearing them and using them once, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like that when you get as a kid, sometimes you use it and realize it's not that great, and then it's like a waste of money.
Right.
I remember getting that for Christmas, I think one year, the moon boots. Yeah.
Yep. Strap your feet.
Me and my brother bouncing around on them.
We did that, and then I'm pretty sure she also got us these those like gloves. They're like inflatable like boxing gloves, and we would bounce around in those moon boots with those inflatable gloves. We were fucking idiots, but whatever.
Yeah,
we're kids. I mean,
Yeah.
if you were moon booting to work, you'd probably have some issues today. Probably a lot of people looking at you.
Yeah. Me and my cousin Travis, the one I used to do a radio show, we were like best friends, the one that's with my ex-wife now.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we watched a lot of WWF wrestling. Like it's called WWE now. I really don't watch wrestling now, but we watch the old school stuff, and we'd always want to wrestle and come up with little characters in wrestling. And we've had this place I'm living at was my dad's. I got it after he passed away, so we've been here since we were kids, and I still remember us. We would go up at my bedroom window, climb out the window, and climb all the way up on the roof, and we would wrestle and do fake suplexes. And it's like, that's crazy. I tried to go out there as an adult one time to smoke weed. Like, oh, how cool would it be? Go up on the roof and lay and smoke some weed. And I was terrified. I said, I can't believe I was wrestling up here. And you're like fearless as a kid. And I don't know. We could have broke our necks or died. I mean, we're doing suplexes and body slamming each other on the roof.
That just makes me think of like whenever I see kids, because when I was 18, 19, 20, I was doing stupid shit like that too. But nowadays, when I see kids doing that same thing, I'm like, man, I really am getting old because that's annoying as fuck. I just want to tell them to stop because they're going to hurt themselves.
Well, I know. Well, my air wasn't working for a while, and they were making fun of me on the show. So I ended up having to have the whole unit replaced. It was shot, like the heating and air system in here.
Right.
So I had to buy a new unit that's it was $8,000, I believe. And there's these kids. I see them on my ring cam, and I get nuts. And I'm at work. There's nothing I could do. Just send my neighbors over. These kids, the unit's outside and it stands up, and they're punching it. They're jumping on top of it and jumping on that to jump on the roof. And I'm like an old man, like shaking my fist. I'm like, whoever thought that I would spend $8,000 and it would be on a fucking heating unit, in an air, air unit.
It's a good thing you don't drive, because when talking about random car troubles, that shit's expensive too, and you don't expect it. You know it's going to happen eventually, but when it does, you're like, fuck, I don't have that money.
Everybody keeps saying, I keep hearing that from everybody. Oh, you're lucky you don't drive and you take the bus. Gas, you're saving. I'm like, I know.
But think about like when I got $100 when I was like 11 and 12. That was like awesome.
That was crazy. Yeah, $100 now is nothing.
No,
like,
dude.
But I mean, not only because of I mean, I guess as a kid it felt like more too because you had no bills, but also inflation. Like even if I give my daughter, sometimes for her birthday, I know like she's all, she's 14, teenage girl. So I'll get her one of those Visa prepaid cards and put money on it and put like $300 on it. And it's like, oh, thanks, Dad. It's like, me, if I got $100, I was like, woo, I'm rich,
And I get, I'm salary, so my checks stay the same. And it's funny because I know at least $1,000 of it's gone. Like no matter what, at least $1,000 of it every time I get paid is out. It's bills and car payments and and that's not including food to support us for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into this first little scenario here, and I'm curious what you got to say about it.
All right.
It says, so again, this is Am I the Asshole? So you have to determine who the asshole is here.
Yeah.
My boyfriend places sheets on all of our furniture when I'm on my period. There's a little story to it, but I'm curious what you think.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to need more details. Is she getting blood on the furniture? I mean, what's happening? If he's doing it just for, just for the hell of it, then, maybe he's, not just an asshole, but just bizarre.
He has a thing for white furniture.
So
yes.
So they have white furniture. So
yes.
All right. Now, is there instances he just did it on his own because he's bizarre, or did he like find blood on the white furniture?
The story says that since they had been together, she noticed that he liked white furniture. When they moved in together, whenever she started her period, he'd kick her out of the room for 2 days and ask her.
I like
if she ask her when the last time she changed a tampon is before she would allow her to come back into the bedroom. And
he sounds very controlling and has a little OCD quirkiness. I don't know if he's an asshole as more as he's just bizarre, but maybe assholeism, like a little controlling, like asking you like when you change your tampon. But like I said, I don't think he's doing it like, as a controlling way. He's just wanting to know because he's got that OCD, bizarre quirkiness, and he's worried about his furniture. I'm not saying the guy's right, but I don't think he's an asshole.
That's kind of one of those things where it's like, does she know that going into the relationship already? Because if that's the case, it's like, nah, he can't really be the asshole. Like if he just randomly started doing it, it'd be a different story. But if he was already like that going into the relationship,
I would like to just kick my wife at the time out of the house when she was on her period.
That's more for mood, though, right?
Yeah.
Vinny in the comments says, "Hey man, how you doing?" He says, "I pay cash for everything. I used to be that way."
Gina just tweeted when I said I'll be live with Levy Sir in less than 10 minutes. Gina tweeted, "What? He's awake?"
No, he's not. If he is, he's watching us and laughing.
Yeah, hold on. I'm terrible. Yeah, my sister wife Gina.
I don't think he's the asshole. I don't. Like you said, OCD definitely.
Yeah,
that's
OCD,
like people who like have to,
and it's like a bizarre type of OCD.
Yeah, liking white things. I hate white stuff.
Yeah.
I wear dark clothes, so if I get shit on it, it's hard to see.
Yeah, I'm so messy when I eat. I'm a slob. So I can't wear white. I mean, sometimes I buy white because sometimes white things look good on me, but yeah, it's the shirt lasts a day because then it's like I get the stains on it that don't come out.
Yep. And then I sweat a lot in it because I work in a kitchen, so my clothes I burn through my clothes so quickly because I like sweat in them, and eventually they just kind of build a smell to them, like a natural smell, no matter how much you wash them. So I just have to toss them out and get new ones.
Yeah.
Well, you're a bartender. You get shit all over your clothes, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I know. There used to be a time when I was a waiter and stuff that they used to have to wear white button-up shirts, and most places went to black. So that's good because, I'm like, how could I bartend in a white shirt? I mean, that would be nuts. I mean, you have to so good. I remember when I did, I used to have to wear a white shirt at a restaurant I worked at. It was a mess all the time, and I'd have to soak it in bleach every single day before every shift and let it soak and bleach for hours before I could and sometimes that wouldn't even come out. I was buying new white shirts all the time.
All right, next up. I didn't make it known that I understand Spanish to my girlfriend's family when they talk about me.
What is it? I'm sorry.
It says I didn't make it known that I understand Spanish to my girlfriend's family when they talk about me.
I think if they're talking about him in Spanish and they don't think he can understand it, then they're the asshole.
Agreed. And the story is that they're moving in together and they're on a Zoom so that the family can meet him. And at first they're really nice, and then they start speaking in Spanish, asking about why she won't get with a Latino. And they can hook her up with one, and why she keeps going for white guys.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, he like spoke back in Spanish and is like, it's because we love each other and we're going to get married. And then they all like got real polite and apologized. But no matter what, they're the assholes, because if the girlfriend was mad that he didn't tell them that he spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, if anybody speaks in a different language in front of me, it's usually because they're talking about me. You ever go to a Chinese restaurant and you order?
Yeah.
And then everybody's yelling back in Spanish, and you seem like, or in Chinese, and they're looking at you. I wonder if they're talking about me.
Yeah. I know. Especially my when I was with my ex, she made me go with her to get a pedicure, and we'll go back to my big ugly feet. I was uncomfortable with that, and I said, they're talking, looking down. Oh, and I'm like, I know they're talking about. Look at this. Can't believe this guy came with his big horrible feet, and
I mean, I imagine they probably deal with some pretty gross ass feet, though.
Yeah,
I know mine are rough, and I've gotten pedicures with my wife.
Yeah, I don't like that. But when I was in Thailand, man, I wish I were here for like $1. I mean, these Thai women would rub your feet for like 15 minutes to a half hour for like a couple bucks. It was great, and I didn't even care. It was like, I wish there was something around there. When I get off work, my feet hurt so bad, and I can try. Like I've tried, like they hurt so bad rubbing them. It's not the same. You need someone else to get in there and rub them.
Right. Vinny says, "Where's Bob?" Well, we are pretty sure he's still passed the fuck out, so that's where he is.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Do you have your comments turned on?
Me?
Yeah. There should be a comments button to the right of the screen.
Oh, okay.
If you click on it, you'll be able to see.
Oh, I'll say.
There's not a whole lot.
Gina just texted me back and said, "I'll call him. No one's awake." Yeah.
It's all good. We're already halfway through the damn episode at this point.
Yeah, and his phone's off anyway. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But
this next one says, I called my coworker Chunky after she repeatedly calls me Slim and makes references to my weight after I asked her multiple times not to.
I would say there's nothing wrong with. I wish somebody would call me Slim.
I know. In my opinion,
wait. Unless it's a sarcastic Slim. Like if somebody called me Slim now, I would be suspicious that they are saying it because they think I'm heavy. You know, like you know how you call the big guy tiny or something.
Yes.
You know? But yeah, if she's calling him Slim, you know, because he's fat, yeah, then she's the asshole. But if she's just calling him Slim, because he's actually a slim guy. I mean, who cares? I know.
Right.
I hear.
Well, I mean, he's been asking them not to, though. Like, if you're asking them not to because it's clearly upsetting them, then why would you continue doing it?
Yeah, I mean that's true, but chunky to a woman, I don't know.
I feel like he knew it was gonna what the reaction would be on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And I imagine it probably didn't stop. They probably went and complained.
Well, they say, I've heard people say that two wrongs don't make a right. So I'm going to have to say they're both assholes in this instance.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. Because you're intentionally aiming at them by calling them chunky because you think it's going to stop them from doing it. So you know you're already doing something kind of douchey. So why even, why even post this, really?
Yeah. They're both assholes. Yeah. Two wrongs don't make a right. That's what people tell me because I'm a very spiteful, petty person. And people always tell me, Rob, two wrongs don't make a right. And I say, fuck you. And I do it anyway.
Right.
But I know I'm the asshole. So,
well, karma's a bitch. Sometimes I'm just like karma, Yeah. I'm a pretty blunt guy. And it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's got me in trouble because I don't think I crossed the line, but I definitely tell people how I feel about them, especially when I sit down with employees and stuff like that at work. Yeah, I'm very blunt about like their work ethic and stuff, which you're supposed to be. I think
you're the boss or something.
Yeah, I'm a manager.
What?
Yeah, I'm a manager.
You're a douchey manager.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Wow.
That's actually on my name tag. It says douche. And it says,
I don't want your worth ethic. Look at me. I'm Jukebox Ginger. I have a big red beard, and I'm going to tell you about your work.
And then the green screen's making me look like I'm missing teeth.
What do you have? It's just keying out.
Yeah, it's a no, it's a knockoff Logitech is what it is. That's what the problem is.
I got one. This 4K camera, it's been working good. It's called Allura Tech, that Chrissy Mayer was using, and she sent me a link to it, texted over to me, and I got it, and it's been working great.
It looks good. The quality looks good.
Yeah, it's 4K. 4K.
Return of the Critic says, yeah, I don't know whatever, man. Cool. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, Ginger. That's what he's saying. That's what I'm getting.
That's my buddy Bash out of Cali. He's got a movie review podcast. So
everybody's got a fucking podcast. I watch it. It's like every listener now of Levy Land that come in that are like fans of Levy Land. I notice they all have their own podcast now too. And I'm just
they all ask you guys to come on too.
Yeah, I mean, like Anthony Cumius was saying the other day, like some people are just like horrible, and they think, oh, I can do this. Yeah, I'll buy a microphone, get this, turn it on. Here I am. But you have to have some sort of
niche, like a concept.
Oh yeah, but you have to have some sort of talent to be, or some sort of got to be somewhat entertaining.
Right.
So I don't know.
I have had I've had people that reach out to me to come on my show, and then they come on and my shows are supposed to be an hour, but they only last like 30 minutes because either there's some sort of tension or like they don't get the comedy aspect. So they're like responses are delayed, or it's like, if you're thinking too much about it, then it's probably not going to work, very well. Like their responses just don't make sense. It's just not funny.
Yeah.
And
I was I had a podcast before everybody was podcast. I started my podcast in 2008 when my daughter was just born, because I was a stay-at-home dad with her.
you were
And
Joe Rogan's, was he your mascot?
And but so I was always into radio and always wanted to get into radio. And I remember I was watching what was that show? Wife Swap. And this guy that had this real cunty wife, she made him quit radio because she didn't like him doing it, and he was a radio. So when he went, his his wife that he was not his real wife, but the wife he swapped with was like, well, why doesn't your wife let you do it here? And she took him down to a radio station, had him do a radio. And he was like talking about, he did it. He said, oh, she's so happy, doing it. And, then they go back and, they have the meetings and the face off. And she's like, why don't you let him do radio? And I'm happy doing radio. And she says, all right, I'll let you do radio. And then when the credits closed, they put like on the screen that she ended up not forcing him not to do radio the show ended. And I said, wow, what a cunt. And
no shit.
And I said, I want to, it inspired me. So I went online to figure out how I can do radio on the internet, like do something. And that's so in 2008 I started doing it, and then I ended up being featured. I was in New York Post page 6 one time because I was getting celebrity guests, because I was going on and finding out how to get in touch with celebrities and their publicists. And back then, like I said, not now everybody knows, everybody has a podcast. So somebody's like, oh boy, you got a podcast, big deal. But back then, not everybody had one. So I was getting a lot of pretty famous people on because they're like, oh, okay, this guy's got a show, I'll go on and promote whatever. But now it's like, oh yeah, okay, you got a podcast. So this
as soon as COVID hit, I swear it just like boomed. Because that's when I started mine. And it wasn't because I was like, oh, I want to do a podcast. I actually didn't even know what the fuck a podcast was.
Really? Before COVID, a lot of people, everybody had a podcast too. It got pretty big with like in the last 5-6 years where everybody started having one.
There's just
COVID, I'm sure they probably doubled because people weren't at work and had nothing else to do.
And there was a show when I first started called Just One Listen, and it's only 10 to 15 minute episodes every day, and he reviews different podcasts. And I didn't really take like all of his insight to, personally, but it was funny to listen to all these shitty ones that he would have on. It's like, man, I'm doing better than him. I just started.
Yeah.
People just using their phones, or like they don't even have a microphone. They're just like fucking talking. It sounds terrible.
Yeah. Ugh. And they think everything about them is just so interesting, and they think everybody thinks they're funny. It's a shame. Just like everybody loves to sing, but they can't. Everybody wants to be funny, but some people are just horrible. Like I would love to be able to sing good. Like that would be great. Go out on stage and have crowds cheering and you sing. I can play the piano, but but I know I don't have a good voice, so I don't go out and I don't go on stages, and I don't come on my show and sing songs to people, but the thing is, a lot of people know they can't sing. You see American Idol, and there's people that are completely unaware that they can't sing. I don't think there's anybody in the world that I've met that says I'm not funny. Everybody thinks they're funny.
Yes.
Humor is important, but
well, and people at my work are like, oh, you should have me on. You should have me on. And I'm like, you're not that interesting. You're not that interesting.
When I used to work at Red Lobster and I did the podcast, everybody did. And I had this guy that was he was kind of managing and putting stuff together for the show, and he was getting us like gigs booked, like live gigs, but he would always bring people from Red Lobster over and have them sit in, and it was like so horrible. And like I remember being in this it was in a different studio where audio only. We're on WMEX in Boston, and we also had a podcast, and they would come in to watch the show and watch me do it, and some of them want to come on mic. But what they would do is they'd be sitting there and they'd all be talking to each other, like as I'm doing the show, and I could hear it, and I would flip the fuck out. I'm like, what's going on? Like, fuck up,
Right. I actually occasionally I'll use my if I have like family over, but I have a show planned, I'll go to my neighbor's house and use their basement because it's usually quieter. But occasionally they'll be it's two older brothers live together. They're cool people, but they get drunk and then they'll come down in the middle of the show and they're like trying to talk to you and get your attention. I'm like, dude, I'm clearly doing something.
Yeah, yeah, I know, and and sometimes I felt silly, like I was, but I'm like, I really have listeners and I have people in it. I feel like they're like, Mom, shut up! I'm trying to do my show.
Yes. Now, would that audio like pick up on the mic too?
Yeah, I mean the mics I had the Yeti at the time, so it like picked up everything.
That's what
you have that, right?
Yeah, that's what this is.
So it picked up everything, and it's just like I could hear in my headphones, like, yeah, and it would drive me fucking insane.
Well, it's crazy because like this one, I mean, how many years ago was that? Was that recent?
This was probably 6 or 7 years ago.
So this one, like, it'll pick up the audio, but then like when you go to play it back, it's gone. It's not there. Like you can hear it when you're doing the show. I can hear noises when people are walking around upstairs on the mic.
Yeah,
but it's not there when you listen to the audio.
Okay. I don't know. I never really listened back. I just did it live and freaked the fuck out.
It is annoying. Believe me, I totally get it. I'll be like, hey, can you make sure the kids are quiet?
It's distracting.
Yes.
I get it. If you have a wife and kid, you can't tell your kid, especially if the kid's young, to shut the fuck up.
She's 5, man. Actually, she's usually like, can I come on? Like, well, when I'm done with the show, I'll let you pop on.
Yeah.
All right. I do have one more in on the asshole. And then I do have a couple ironic history facts before we wrap up.
Okay.
All right. This last in on the asshole says, I didn't tell my husband I named our 2 children after my deceased cats.
Well, what are the names? Do we know?
That's what I was curious about, because the story doesn't tell you the names. It just says that, they have kids, and then it just got mentioned a couple years later that she named him after the deceased cats, and he was pissed off. I mean, if it was like Tibbs or like, Fluffy, obviously.
I mean, I don't know. Like, okay. To me, I don't think it's a big deal if I found out that, that as long as I agreed with the name beforehand, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a name I'll go with. If I find out that's what's her cat's name, I wouldn't care. Now, if I found out it's like it was her ex-boyfriend's name, or she named him after her, like then I would be pissed off.
Right.
Like, a cat and whatever. If I agreed to the name and it's an okay name.
Yeah, and it's like he obviously had to. I guess he didn't have to approve the names, but I'm sure if it lasted for years, there probably isn't. He obviously was okay with them.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my cat's names is Sergeant Tibbs from fucking 101 Dalmatians. If my wife decided to name a kid Tibbs, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. My next son's gonna be Spot.
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 That's good. Or you name him Pillow.
Pillow. Yeah.
Blanket and Pillow.
Blanket. But does Michael Jackson have a kid named Blanket? Blanket.
Yes.
Yeah, give me a little blanket. I want you to cover me up, little blanket.
I'm guessing that the kids changed their names. I don't know. I never looked into it.
Yeah, the blanket is going by something else now. Yeah, I did see that. But I think the other ones kept their name Prince Michael the one's Prince.
Yes, yeah. That's not as weird. That's not as weird though.
And the girl seems to have a normal name. Paris. Yeah, the girl's Paris. Jackson.
Yeah, so you know more about it than I do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I see them on I'm fascinated when I see these kids, like when they show, like, even if I'm like scrolling through Facebook or Twitter, one of those clickbaits come on, like Paris Jackson, and I always click on them, like, what's going on with it? Because I'm fascinated, because that their life had to be so fucking bizarre, and they're not as kids because they're all completely 100% white, and Michael Jackson, they're not going to take characteristics after Michael Jackson's surgery. They're going to go by his DNA, and Michael Jackson was dark black with an afro and had the nose, and he was a normal looking black guy. So his kids, that would be passed on to his kids. Not when you get surgery, plastic surgery, that doesn't like go into your
change.
genetics and your kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The kids are all white. They're 100% white. This Paris has blonde hair and blue eyes. I think. I don't know if she has blue eyes, but I know she's got blonde. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Makes you wonder if they're even his kids. I'm just kidding.
Oh, they're not his kids.
I know. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
So I do, like I said, a couple ironic history facts here.
But how lucky, real quick.
Go ahead.
How lucky though that they do have Michael Jackson as their father. I mean, they had to go through a little bit of weirdness, but now
oh yeah. I'm sure they're still getting money from him. Like,
yeah, I mean they're close to the Jackson family. They're all loaded, because they're considered, and the Jackson family treats them like family, even though they're obviously not related to any of them at all. But they have this Jackson name, and they don't have to live with their pedophile father anymore with the weirdness. But they actually, like, when they talk about him, they're very like, glowing about him. So I guess maybe he was a good dad. I don't know.
I mean, probably they're his kids, so he probably didn't treat them the same as he did the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, but you remember the one he was dangling out the window?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bizarre, but lucky kid. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
No, you're good. I mean, think about all of them. I mean, I've seen Jaden and Willow, and the
those fucking
they're
kids are
weird.
So weird. Yeah, you would think that the Jackson, they seem normal. I've seen them talking and speaking. They seem actually normal, but there's Will Smith's kids are fucking weird, and
I stumbled upon Willow Smith on TikTok, and she's like doing music now, and it's like, I don't even know if it's a genre of music. It's just off the wall weird.
Yeah, and they're so like, they're weird, and they're like so like they just think so highly of themselves. I mean, they really do think they're very special.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's a difference between creepy and special.
Yeah, I'm so unique.
There you go. That's the word you got to use. Unique.
I'm so unique.
I don't even know if they go by pronouns or if they are.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Let's get off that subject though, because that's a whole nother fucking. I don't even get that. This says a man once drowned in a pool party that was celebrating a year with no drownings at a New Orleans lifeguard celebration. So they were celebrating a full year with no issues, and then somebody died at that party. They drowned in the pool.
And they were saying, who does it? That just seems like a sure way to I don't know. It's just the way the world works that's going to happen. Like, who celebrates that? A year without no drownings. That's like, saying, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to have a party, invite all my guy friends over, and get drunk to celebrate a year of my wife not cheating on me. She's going to get drunk and fuck one of these guys at the party, and it's going to be, oh, that's so ironic. We were just celebrating a year not
It's like 1 minute till the year mark, and she's in another room screwing another guy.
Usually a celebration, there is alcohol. So you're celebrating a year of no one drowning at this place. They're probably drinking and swimming. And
it literally says they found him the next day. So obviously all these lifeguards, there was over 100 of them there. They were all probably shit-faced drunk. Nobody's paying attention. And then the next day, somebody wakes up to get some coffee or some shit, steps outside, and there's a dead dude in the pool.
Yeah. Oh my God. Celebrating. Yeah. I've never heard of that. Let's celebrate. We're going to have a party. A year. Nobody's drowned here. Yeah. Next party. Oh my gosh. Let's go celebrate over here. A year. No one's murdered. This guy didn't.
I mean, I know my work does this thing where if there's a year with no injuries, they'll get a food truck and, get food for everybody. But that's not, it's not a full on celebration. And
no winner. They give them they give them a reward. They give you a reward if you go without injuries. I guess that's not.
No, you saved it. You saved us money, guys. Good job.
Yeah. Here's a little reward, a pizza party or something. Good job, guys. Not chopping your own fingers off. What do you do that people are getting injured? What's your?
Well, I'm a manager. I work at Costco.
Oh, Costco. Oh,
yes.
So, how are people getting injured at Costco?
I mean, it's a warehouse. You got forklifts. You've got pallet jack. I mean, it's a full-on warehouse. So when we're not even open, you got machines all over the floor. I mean, just stupid shit. People like hit the loading dock wrong and flip the forklift, or sometimes people cutting their hands open in the deli or the meat department.
Now, do they have like separate manager? Are you like the
yeah, I actually no, I run the food. If I was a warehouse manager, this background would be real. No, I'm just the food court manager. Hot dogs and pizza, man.
Wow. Okay.
It's not bad. It's actually it's a good gig. I get paid a lot more than I should for doing hot dogs and pizza. Let's put it that way.
So you're considered a food and beverage manager then?
Just food court, because you got your deli manager, you got your meat department manager, your bakery manager, me. And then you have AGM that overlooks all those departments. So there's 3 assistant general managers. One's in control of like making sure everybody's safety is done every period. And then you got one that's over the morning crew, making sure the floor looks the way it's supposed to. And then you got somebody that's over all like the ancillary departments.
I was in charge when I was 19 of the media department, Best Buy. That was a job from hell. Do you guys, when you come in before you open, do you have to do that huddle and go over the day?
No. Well, I mean, I don't. They do the morning stalkers. Mm-hmm. Like when they first come in, they're like, "Hey, here's the moves we got to do," kind of shit. But that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
it's not bad. Costco's a good kind. They take care of the employees, kind of. Good pay, good benefits.
Okay. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm a union bartender, so we get great benefits and all that.
But don't you have to pay to be in the union?
Well, you pay union dues, but I mean, it's certainly cheaper than paying for insurance. You pay your union dues and you get the insurance for the union dues. I think it's
you get insurance. You don't have to pay for insurance.
No,
that's nice.
The union it's local 54. Yeah, they have their own medical center, and then there's small it's the best insurance you can get without getting the free insurance that you have for being poor, is what I currently have. But now I have this insurance because it's just kicking in. It's like the best insurance, and I think you pay like, I don't know, $50 a week, something like $30 a week.
I pay $120 for my wife, me, and our 2 kids. A check. No,
it's not bad at all.
And it's damn good insurance too. So I mean, it's not bad.
Where are you from again?
Kansas City.
Yeah, because that's a Midwest or something where people say, instead of insurance, they say, how do you say insurance?
Insurance.
Yeah. You really like pronunciate that N. Insurance.
Insurance.
We just say insurance, and you're like, I want to get the difference. What is it? I say insurance, and you say what?
It's just it's an assurance. It's insurance.
Yeah. Insurance.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference between what you're saying and what I'm saying? I don't hear.
You like difference. Really you got this drawl, but they did that in West Virginia when I lived out there. Yeah, it's like, oh, are you getting insurance with that? My insurance is gonna. Yeah, it's like you really drag out the insurance. Yeah, you like really enunciate. Where Jersey, everything. Insurance.
Well, honestly, we usually just say benefits more than we do insurance.
You know, I wish Abel was on here. I would love to see if he does that. I've never heard him say insurance. I bet you he pronounces it like that, pronounces it. Insurance.
Okay, so next up. Let's get off of this now. The building holding the patent to the fire hydrant burnt down in 1836, so they don't actually know who invented it.
Invented what is it now?
I'm sorry. Fire hydrant.
A fire hydrant. I mean, is that something that is like, I don't know. Is that something that we really need to know and celebrate somebody
it's ironic because it burnt down, but they're the ones who invented it.
It burnt down. Yeah, the fire hydrant's supposed to help.
I guess that would go a lot better if you were paying attention.
Yeah. I know. Get lost easy.
These early morning episodes are killing you, man.
I know my brain is still foggy. I'm still thinking about insurance.
Man, when I was in the restaurant, insurance was that they killed you. At least out here it was $120. Actually, I think I paid 140 something just for me.
Oh wow.
And it was shitty. It was shitty insurance. Let's see here. Gary Kremen, the founder of Match.com, lost his girlfriend to a man she met on Match.com.
Wow, that is that one I will. That's oh my God. Hey, could you imagine? He lost his girlfriend, you said?
Yeah, so they weren't. I guess they weren't married.
But yeah, that's still like, could you imagine though if it was like they'd been married like 30 years and it's like he invents this stuff to make money and that's ultimately how he, that's.
I guess it would depend if he made money off of her from using Match.com.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, a lot of times you set up your own. I mean, I guess things are supposed to happen to a reason. A lot of times you build your own path as far as like it looks bad. Like everybody thinks what happens to me is awful, but I'm glad not to be with my ex-wife anymore. But like I pretty much set it all up myself. I started doing a radio show podcast with my cousin Travis. And then I moved him into the house and got him a job at the casino I worked at, had him in here. I was on a separate schedule. He was on the same hours as my wife at the time. And next thing I know,
just makes
pregnant by him. I'm out of the house and I'm fighting for, but it's like I pretty much allowed it and set it all up. I told my ex-wife I'm moving my cousin in. I'm going to let him stay in the studio because I'm getting him a job where he's at. And,
I'm going to like, if I was going to say who's the asshole, I think you're an asshole to yourself on that one.
Yeah.
But damn, dude. I mean, it sucks. Yeah, it definitely sucks. But I mean, that's long over with, right?
Yeah, it's after a while. It's still like I don't know when it was a very ugly situation. So I still every time I bring it talks up, it still stings. And sometimes if I think about it too much, I'll get angry about it again. And not that I lost her, because I'm glad that I'm not with her anymore. And I'm glad that, he was such a scumbag too and not a good friend. So I'm glad that I don't have to be married to her and that I'm no longer friends with him. But just what they did to me. I mean, just, with the court and making up shit and all that.
And that's like by blood cousin.
Yes. Yeah, we grew up. We're 3 months apart. Yeah, we're I still, family function. Sometimes I still say I usually don't. The family, obviously took my side. So the only time I really kind of see him is like at a funeral. He doesn't get actual family get-togethers and functions. But,
I just get a fight with him at the funeral. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but I know I can be cordial with him. It's it's whatever. I'm not gonna
it is what it is, man.
But I think I have to go over it again. Pat Dixon's fascinated with it, and he has been since he heard about this. And I believe I'm doing his podcast tonight, and he says he really wants to dive in a serious note about what happened and all that. So
it's hard for me to do like I do like to do serious topic stuff, but I like to find funny shit about everything.
Yeah, like I did most of the time. That's what Pat said. He said, I know we bust on you, and most of the time it's just people cracking on you on the show about what happened. And he said, but I kind of I'm very interested in what happened. I said, all right, I'll talk to you about it. My ex-wife, if she knows, she'd be like, no, because she knows every time I talk about it again, then I start getting an attitude with her again.
Like you still have her number in your phone?
My ex-wife? Well, we have a kid together, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, makes sense. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw her at my daughter's 8th grade graduation, and she gave me a ride home after the yeah.
All right, so I got one more of these ironic history things, and then we'll bullshit for a few minutes before we wrap up.
Yeah.
It says condoms were given out at a Canadian university with notes attached promoting safe sex. These were later recalled because the staples used to fasten the note had punctured holes in the condoms.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because I didn't even think about that, but now that you say, yeah, who's stapling?
I mean, that whole situation is just funny to me. I mean,
If this was who's the asshole segment, I would say
yeah.
it's fucking putting staples in the condoms, handing them
I
out.
would probably question going to that university.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking insane.
I mean, if it was a student, but if it's the teacher handing them out, I'd be like, man, they clearly are not hiring the best teachers.
Yeah. I hate condoms. I mean, I guess
Me
all
too.
guys hate condoms, but
it totally ruins the whole concept of sex. I feel like you can't enjoy it the same.
yeah, yeah. I did one time. I almost got my it was a scare. My ex-girlfriend, the 22-year-old, and so she said it only lasted like a week, but she said, you gotta wear condoms. So I went out and I bought like the thinnest condoms you get. It doesn't even protect against STD, protect against pregnancy. It's like the thinnest thing you can get. And I used that for a week, and then I she reminded me, now you got to put on a condom. And then after a week, she just gave up because she knew that I was going to argue about it. But
or they rip, or they,
yeah.
it's or they come off.
Yeah.
It's
condoms.
Fucking condoms, man. I think the funniest thing, like I've bought them in the store and it's just awkward because I know I really don't want to buy them, and they're really not. I mean, they're not expensive, but they're not that cheap either. It's like, man, that's kind of a waste of money to me.
Yeah. I bought a cock ring one time at Walmart. For my the vibrating thing to do with my ex-girlfriend, and that was before Walmart had self-checkout. So I actually had to like look a cashier in the eye when I bought it. And I purposely bought a couple other things I just needed because you don't want to be the guy that just goes up with the cock ring. And who knew Walmart sold cock rings, right?
No shit. I've never seen them.
It's like in the area with condoms. It's like it was a vibrating cock ring. It was like good for one use. You like pulled the tab and just vibrated till it eventually ran out. But so I put that on and did the.
You almost gotta like puff your chest up and kind of fool yourself whenever you're purchasing it.
Yeah. All right, I'll just take these Reese's cups, Coca-Cola, cock ring.
I like to. It's funny because my wife, I work at Costco, so stuff's in bulk. I'll get her tampons there, and she's like, "Are you okay doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's not." If I was like 20, it'd probably be like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." But now I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and I think even like with the cock ring, I'm not sure, but I'm kind of thinking that there's no way they could even just scan it without noticing it there, because I think one of those things you scan where it puts up the thing to make sure they're 18. Like that.
It's a special hair tie for my girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh, this is a cock ring. Oh yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
Oh, let me get my manager. I'm not sure how to ring these up.
Yeah.
Hey boss, I got one of these cock rings over here. I need your help.
We need a price check on a cock ring on register number 10. Price check on a cock ring.
I don't know why this guy's getting it, but Yeah,
everybody always thinks I'm gay. And this guy's going with his boyfriend, him doing some freaky shit with his cock ring.
That's what my wife says about my shows sometimes. She's like, it's kind of gay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I usually have dudes on, and I'm like, well, I mean, we like to bullshit. It's easy. This is my guys' night out. That's what I do.
It's kind of gay. It's like, well, we would have women on, but we want it to be somewhat entertaining and funny. So
my buddy from Return of the Critics had these TikTokers. There's these two girls come over on his show, and he said they were the most obnoxious, annoying guests he's ever had.
I bet.
They would contradict everything. They're like, if they'd ask questions and they'd say an answer, and then when they would disagree, they would agree with them. And he said it was just absolutely ridiculous. He almost didn't even want to post it.
Yeah. TikToker. He had him at his house, or they?
Well, he has 4 guys. They all do the podcast together he's got a setup in his garage. So yes, they came over and did the show there.
Yeah, I have no garage or basement, so it's a good thing. Like I said, I'm I'm a single guy living alone because my studio table, soundboard, I got the professional lights. It's in my dining room, so there's no dining room. The dining room, as you walk, and it's not like even the dining room's closed off. There's no doors for the kitchen and living room, dining room. Yeah, the dining room is just there, and it's so like crowded. You like to get through, you got to squeeze through and sit down and everything. So it's like,
well, and you even have it blocked off with your green screen setup too, don't you?
yeah, well, I mean, the green screen is like just a back wall, but I mean, there's a door right here to me and a door right there. That one goes to the kitchen. Not a door, but like a doorway. There's no like
Yes.
actual door. Right there is the kitchen, and that way is the living room and front door and all that.
Well, it's kind of nice if you live by yourself to have something like that. You don't have
I
to yell a
know,
lot.
but like I'm doing my Bloody Mary release party on July 6th, and I'm having people, but I'm having it. I have to have it at somebody else's house. I could have had it worse because it's just like there's nowhere to, you know.
You can't really host a party where you're living.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I've had people over and they just stay in the living room and we set up stuff in the kitchen. But like this dining room area, there's no way to even walk. The only thing you can do is sit down in here. You can't walk around or move in here. It's because
right.
it's got the lights, the table, the mics, everything, and it's
How much? I'm curious how much your rent is for that.
Oh, I own my condo.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
You gotta own, man, especially this day and age. My I know a buddy at work. He got a like 3-bedroom apartment for like 1,800, which is probably cheap there, but here that's insane. Like I pay 1,100 a month for mortgage. It's not bad, but I got a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse.
It's not bad. Yeah,
no, and the
I got
mortgage it's definitely worth it for mortgage.
I got a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom. It's got a den. My studio used to be in the den, but then once we went video, the den actually closed off with a door. When we did the audio show, just on the radio, I had it in there. So the dining room was open and you go in the door and we'd have it in there. But like the air and heat, so it'd be real hot or in there a lot. And then once we went to video, there just wasn't enough room for all the extra stuff, like the cameras and the lights and all that stuff. So I had to make the dining room the studio.
Do you actually prefer doing the video or no?
Not really. I could do without it. I mean, I don't know. I felt like my audio show was better. I don't know, but I used to, I used to have all the like the sounds. I don't know. I did it. It was like I don't know. You could paint more of a picture, but now the video, it's just here it is. Here I
I
am.
see that's what I need to do. I need to look more into doing sounds. Like I was thinking about with this whole JG Lounge concept is doing like background crowd noise, like lightly in the background during my shows to make it sound more like in the
I have
studio.
these like sounds that I load in here, and what I have here, like this is. I don't know if you can. There, can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sometimes I have it set to where it doesn't get there. There's laughter.
Yeah, I like that. That's funny.
This is the one I use when Chris Abels tells a joke. Or that, I guess, maybe. And there's a punchline. And there's like a dream. And then this is like the load. I even hear Shuley has the same soundboard. And a lot of people that have this, they all use this sound to end their shows with. It's like, this comes like loaded with this soundboard. This is like one of the best podcasting soundboards. It's called Rodecaster Pro.
I've heard of Rodecaster Pro. I have never dabbled in soundboards.
And I have this, and I have this loaded on, but I don't even need it because the producer does all this and the opening and the video, and you hear this.
And now, live from the Night Views Radio Studio, it's the Rob Saul Show.
Yeah, and this is plays, but with video on my show anyway, so I don't really need that loaded. But I don't know.
And I was thinking about even throwing ads on here, but I'm like, do I really want to do that?
Yeah, I know. Speaking of ads, while I'm on here, for anybody watching, I don't know if anyone's heard, but the not only Rob Saul Show Levy Land is brought to you by Silk City Hot Sauce, and I have my own Bloody Mary mix out. It's called Rob Saul's Bloody Mary. You can get it at silkcityhotsauce.com. Use promo code ROB at checkout, and you'll get 15% off. And you also have other sauces on there, great hot sauces. Bob Levy's blue cheese ass licking sauce is on there.
That's hilarious. Actually.
Yeah, and it's on cityhotsauce.com. In fact, the release party will be July 6th. It's by invite only. I invited 1 or 2 listeners, friends down from there. But yeah, so we'll be having 20 pounds of wings. My neighbor, Miss Trina, black lady, can fry good wings. And then I'm making a buffalo sauce with Bob Levy's ass-licking blue cheese. So they'll be tossed in there. And then we'll be making Bloody Marys, have hamburgers and hot dogs, shit like that,
Yeah, man. That's all. And I'll put all those links in this description as well. So,
yeah.
Along with your show. I appreciate you coming out. How is that Bloody Mary mix? Has it been selling?
Yeah, it's doing pretty good with online orders. I'm trying to work, and I've been talking to different people, and I'm trying to get some bars, maybe a couple liquor stores around here to carry in there. I would like to see it in actual, stores.
Yeah. And it is a vegan, correct?
Yeah, it is 100% vegan, which doesn't change the flavor at all. The only thing that's not vegan is in Bloody Mary mix usually is Worcestershire sauce, because there's anchovies that's made with Worcestershire sauce. So we just use a vegan homemade Worcestershire sauce that doesn't have anchovies. Still tastes like Worcestershire, but that's because I was vegan. I still currently bill myself as vegan, but that hasn't been happening lately. I've been going off the deep end, but working so much and the convenience. But I want to get back to it and start.
It's dedication. That takes some dedication, man.
Yeah, Vinny Cash says he'll be making some Rob Saul Bloody Marys this weekend. Thank you, Vinny. Vinny's always a big supporter of the sauce and the mix. Vinny, are you in Jersey? I'll invite you. No, I don't think Vinny is in Jersey. He sounds like he is. We have a lot of Vinnies in Jersey.
Do you know who Vinny is?
I know him from the shows, like
okay,
gotcha. But and you got the guy, I work real closely with the owner of Silk City Hot Sauce, working with this stuff, and he told me when he mailed it to Vinny, he said that that's his real name. I sent it out to Vinny Cash. I thought it was like a screen name. He's in Utah, but he is from Jersey. Okay, well, you won't be around. I was going to say I'll invite you to the release party. We'll be making Bloody Marys, eating wings, and nothing vegan. Everybody thinks with me that it's going to be nuts. It's going to be real food, real wings, real burgers.
I've had some vegan boneless wings that were actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can make a lot of good vegan stuff. It's a little more expensive and it's a lot of work. And that's the thing that I've been falling off lately. I just been working so much, and well, not the expensive. It's prepping meals and stuff. There's no real. You can't really just just stop and get vegan stuff anywhere and eat it. I'm
right.
I'm fucking. It's been, and now after this party, I keep saying after the party that I'll go back to being vegan, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I try to do it for like the animal reasons.
You'll say that you're gonna have a bunch of leftover wings to take home with you.
Yeah, I don't know. 20 pounds of wings. There's gonna be a lot of people there. So they wings, and then Miss Trina's wings, when she fries them, I'll tell you, they don't last too long in the pan. 20 pounds of wings isn't that much, but
I guess it's really it's not that many wings.
Yeah, so yeah, July 6th in Jersey. So if you're interested, you can hit me up on Twitter at Rob Bloody Saul. I think I might have one more spot for somebody to come in. It's mainly family and friends, but I wanted to, I consider my listeners family and friends, so I wanted to invite a couple of them. So.
Yeah, of course, man. I wouldn't be able to make it anyways, so don't even bother inviting me.
Oh no, you wouldn't invite. Yeah, sorry.
I wouldn't be anyways. I do a lot of barbecuing out here in Kansas, so I mean,
you look like you're a barbecuer.
Oh man, barbecue and craft beer.
Oh yeah, I could. And you didn't even have to tell me that. Anybody with a red beard loves craft beer.
Yeah, I'm not really a liquor fan. I love Bloody Marys. The thing about a Bloody Mary is I can drink, 4 of them and sip on them. It's not like a chugging drink.
Yeah.
And the same thing with craft beer. If you get a good craft beer, you're getting it because of the taste, because they're not cheap. If
some vodka, I want a Bloody Mary.
I actually have Zing Zang. upstairs.
Zing Zang, my biggest competitor. Yeah, people love that Zing Zang.
It is good, man. I mean, I like to doctor my Bloody Marys up anyways, but
Yeah,
I mean, even if you
still
don't doctor
up
it,
mine, but it's a lot of stuff's in there. We grind. I like pickle juice. I had Jeff. He grinds whole pickles in the mix, and just a lot of confusion. He's supposed to be mailing out cards with the Bloody Mary mix. It's an 8-ounce bottle, and we actually had somebody like, this is way too spicy, and I couldn't believe it. They just mixed this concentrate with vodka, but you can't. It's like for a whole 32-ounce can of tomato juice, it's just one little shot of the Rob Saul Bloody Mary mix. It's super spicy, and the more you add some, it's meant to be mixed with tomato juice or clamato, whatever's your thing, and then you mix it like that and add the vodka. But
so it's a concentrated mix.
Yes, it's concentrated that you add to tomato juice, and that way you can make it as spicy or as little spicy as you want. I like that part. Is you're not locked down to a certain spice, and you can add more of what you want in it. But it kind of like there's olive juice in it, pickle. There's horseradish in there, fresh. All his ingredients. He lives right by a farm, and the guy lets him come to the farm. All the peppers are fresh picked from a farm, and it's a really good. All the sauces there are good at Silk City Hot Sauce, silkcityhotsauce.com. And this Bloody Mary. I've worked hard. He says he's never had anybody. Usually he just takes a podcaster, a radio host, or a comedian, and he just slaps their face on a hot sauce. And I said, I'm not doing that. I said, how about I'm a bartender, Bloody Mary, and we work together on really fine tuning and developing.
Did you have to invest into that, or does he just own the name and does it for you, and then you just get a percent?
Yeah, I take a percentage of it because he does all the work. And he bottles it, pays for the bottles, everything, all the money. He puts all the money into it. It's just my recipe, my face, and I'm just the name and face behind the sauce, and it is my recipe. So,
do you like spicy stuff?
I do. I love spicy stuff, but the older I'm getting, the harder it is to eat, and I love it so much. And I get heartburn real easy, and that gastric reflux they call it.
Yes. I just recently did a show called with this guy called Hot Sauce Boss. He's based out of Texas. He's got over 1 million followers, and he literally just reviews hot sauce stuff. And he came on my show, and we did 2 challenges. We did ghost pepper noodles and this sucker called Satan's Toe. The challenge, it's 19 million Scoville. It's like the hottest sucker you can possibly buy. And the challenge is to hold it in your mouth for 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
It was so brutal. I mean, the ghost pepper noodles were pretty hot themselves, and I was struggling, but man, I did it. It was rough. That Satan's Toe was killer. I would never do it.
I would have died. I mean, I don't know if you guys in Kansas City. I've gone outside of Jersey, and subs are just not made right like they are in Jersey. Our subs are really good, and they use. I don't know if you guys use them there. I think there you guys throw banana peppers and shit on your sub, but in Jersey we use this stuff. It's called crushed red pepper. It's like a vinegary, little hot red peppers.
There's places out here that do it, but no,
it's like a spread, and I love those on my sub. But the older I get now, it's like if I eat it and there's too much, I only have to put a little on there. I used to load them up because I love the taste of it, but I'll be on the toilet for the next day, just it feels like pure fire coming out of my asshole.
That's exactly what happened to me the next day. It was not fun. My body hated me. Yeah. But it was an experience. I did it for the experience. And actually my podcast has grown so much that I wanted to do it sort of a celebration to my followers. So I had quite a few people tune in. It was fun.
There you go. So, celebrating 1 year with no one murdering you from listening to your show.
It's the first year I really didn't have a lot. No. The first year I did, because I started in October 2020, and it's just this last year it's really grown, man. So, and I appreciate you coming back on too, because it's funny because the YouTube, I don't get a whole lot of traction on YouTube, but my Spotify gets a lot of views. So I just do this so that people can chime in on the chat, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad. I love being on. I mean, I'd like to come on dressed one day, but maybe one day we can do the show where it's not so early in the morning, and
that'd be fine.
Yeah.
I
I'm
typically
always stressed if you're not a regular listener or viewer of Levy Land and Saul show. Yeah, I'm dressed on those shows. Sometimes
I typically do them. I either do them late at night or early in the morning because of the fact that I have children.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's what I did when I started, and my daughter was 6 months old when I started. So I always had to do the shows, but we always did them. Before I was divorced and I lived with the kid in the house, it was I always did them. It was like 11 o'clock at night, pretty much.
Yeah.
It
So it affects like so. Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
called Night Views Radio, and then we changed it to the Rob and Trav show because Travis was on Night Views Radio with me. And then when Trav and ran off with Patty, my ex, then it just became the Rob Saul show.
My brother-in-law comes on every now and then since he stays with us right now. So,
okay.
But it is what it is. We share my mic, so the audio is not nearly as good.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. Audio makes a big difference, man. I used to have a cheap condenser mic, and man, it would pick up any sort of back feed. It would pop. It would make popping noises like throughout the show when I talk, and it really sucked. Every now and then I get a good episode, but it was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, I believe when Travis and I first started, first we used to do it over like a phone call, and it would stream out. And he lived in New York, and then we wore like the headsets with the microphone around, like the phone microphone around. And I started buying mics and throwing money around. And
my first 5 guest episodes, I literally built pillow forts.
Oh,
and I would just hide underneath them and the blankets and everything, and I would do my shows on the phone.
Oh wow!
And it would turn out pretty decent because you blocked out all the back feed, but still, that's such a pain in the ass. This the Yeti's so much better.
Yeah, Yeti's a good microphone. I had the Yeti Pro still, but and it's great. I had it there, and it plugs in to the soundboard. You have the USB one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The Pro one is real good. It's black one, but then my old co-host Mike Kerwina, I got him the Rode mic that's built for this Rodecaster Pro, and he started talking on it, and I was like, wow, he sounds better than me. And I have this expensive. These aren't that expensive. This real expensive. I think they were like $400 a Yeti Pro when I got it, because I used to have the regular Yeti. Then I went to the Yeti Pro because I started using a soundboard. And so I still have the Yeti Pro, but I said, got me because these ones are built for the soundboard. That's why they sound so good with this.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on. And yes, everybody, Silk City, what was it?
SilkCityHotSauce.com. Go to RobSaul.com or SaulShow.com. There's also links for it there. And we'll appreciate you supporting us, and get Rob Saul's Bloody Mary mix. It's delicious. You'll love it. If you love Bloody Marys, you're gonna love Bloody Mary mix. If you don't, you can still use promo code Rob and get some of their delicious array of hot sauces. Even Bob Levy's ass licking blue cheese.
Have you tried the blue cheese?
I have no, I haven't tried it yet. I heard it's good. I have 3 bottles of it, but I'm saving it to make for the wings for the mix. So
I don't know. I'm not a huge blue cheese fan, man.
Yeah. That blue cheese is all right. I'm sure it's not like a overpowering.
If you drown it out with the buffalo sauce, I can do it. That's about the only time I'll really do blue cheese.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, appreciate having you on, and I'll obviously send you links to all this stuff when it's all published and out there. So,
all right,
man. Do you have guests on your show?
I do. Yes. We had Pat Dixon on our last show last Tuesday. It was right after he punched Gino Bisconti. So we got
I heard you guys talking about that on Leave Land the other day.
Yeah, so I had him on, and next week I'll have Brent Hatley on from Miserable Men and the Howard Stern Show.
Right.
Bob Levy comes on. My buddy Will Noonan will be on soon.
So, somebody told me I should have Artie on and give him shit about his nose.
Artie, I've never had Artie on, but Artie and Bob aren't really friends anymore. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I've never I've met Artie a few times, but I've never had him on the show.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll be in touch. Okay.
All right, man. Thank you.
For everybody tuning in, I appreciate you hanging out. Check out the Rob Saul show. Check out his hot sauce or his Bloody Mary mix, and all the links will be in the description of this episode.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good one, man.
All right, take care.